Good afternoon, all. For today's second session on NAC accreditation and preparation. Now I welcome Mr. Jason C.S., Assistant Professor from Electronics and Communication Engineering Department, to introduce and welcome the resource person.
Good afternoon, all. Today we have blessed with a vibrant speaker, Dr. C. Deepa. She completed her MCA from Bharathiar University, Coimbatore. Also received MPhil and PhD from the same university itself. She is an associate professor in the Department of IT, Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science, formerly SNR Sons College, Coimbatore. She was working there since 2008. She is in the Collegiate Academy since 2001. Prior to that, she was a software engineer. She has published a book named An Ontology-Based Image and Web Page Retrieval for Knowledge Extraction Using SABC-SEB Clustering. She received Women Researcher Award in 87th International Research Award in Engineering, Science and Management, organized by International Organization of Scientific Research and Development, and Incessant Award, Science Service Award from Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. She is a reviewer of various journals and has published research publications in international journals and conference proceedings. She is the member of Board of Studies of Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science, Autonomous, Coimbatore. She is a recognized supervisor of doctoral degrees in computer science under Bharathiar University and currently guiding 3 PhD scholars and 1 MPhil scholar and 6 MPhil scholars successfully completed. I welcome you, madam, on to the session. Over to you, ma'am. Deva, madam. Ma'am, could you hear me? Deva, madam, could you hear me?
Can you hear me, Jason?
Yeah, here. You're audible.
Okay. Is the PPT visible?
Yeah, ma'am, it's visible.
Good afternoon, all. At first, let me thank the principal, Amarjyoti College of Engineering, and Dr. Teresa Yamuna Mangesh, coordinator of STTP, Jason, Assistant Professor of Electronics and Communication of Amarjyoti College of Engineering, for giving me a chance to be the resource person for this STTP. Thank you once again.
Madam, could you please align your mic? Sound is a little bit feeble. Please align your mic.
Okay. Today's topic of STTP is NAC accreditation and preparation. And you would have, in the morning session, you would have known what accreditation is and the various steps in accreditation and assessment process through Dr. Senthil Kumar. And in continuation with it, now in this session, we will see the various criteria of NAC and why NAC and how NAC is assessed for the accreditation. So, on to the part 2, the NAC 7 assessment criteria for accreditation, we will go through it. You know that the quality, as per the NAC, the quality indicator framework, QIF, forms the backbone of A&A process of NAC, and it caters to the successfulness of the NAC process. And we all know very well that the mission of NAC is the mission and the core objective of the NAC is the contributing to the national development and fostering global competencies among students. So these 7 criteria represent the core function and activities of an HEI to contribute to the NAC's core values. Now we'll see what the 7 assessment criteria are. They are curricular aspects, teaching, learning and evaluation, research, innovation and extension, infrastructure and learning resources, student support and progression, governance, leadership and management, institutional values and best practices. You would have known a bit of it, or you would have understood what these 7 criteria is in the morning session. We will have a quick look and we'll go for the indicators in it. We have got 2 types of indicators in NAC assessment. They are the qualitative and quantitative. In quantitative, we'll be finding the ratio or the percentage of the work we have done it. In qualitative, we'll be describing it in words, either in 200, 500 or 1000 words. The description of what the requirement is to be given. So there are these 2 matrices comes under the key indicators. We'll see in each criteria the various key indicators and weightage for it, weightage for each and every key indicators, and we'll see how much mark we can go for acquiring it. Now the first of it is criteria 1 is curricular aspect, and it is one of the important of all HEIs, higher education institutions. And we all know that curriculum is the core of education. It is important to have a relevant, well-structured curriculum that answers all those questions about the future and equips the student with all the necessary skills and knowledge. So our curriculum should be welfare to the student and should equip them to meet with the skills and knowledge and meet the competence of the world. Now let us see the key indicators of the curricular aspects are curriculum design and development, curricular planning and implementation, academic flexibility, curriculum enrichment, feedback system, and total of 150 marks for university and autonomous colleges and 100 for affiliated and constituent colleges. And you should see that this curriculum design and development and curriculum planning and implementation go together, and it comes under the key indicator 1.1a, criteria 1.1a. So when you're going for it, you know that the curriculum design of each and every HEI or higher education institution should be consistent with the institutional vision and vision in view with the national and international scenario. Because the international and international scenario, because it should onto the NAC framework. If you go for the core values, the curriculum should be, or the HEIs should support should contribute to the national development, fostering global competence and among students, inculcating value system among students, promoting the use of technology and quest for excellence. Keeping this in mind, we should go for the vision and mission of the institution, and the curriculum should be designed in par with it. And the major consideration in design and development of curriculum are employability and entrepreneurship, skill development, pursuit of higher knowledge, overall development of the students, and the range of program should meet with the local needs and national and global needs, and feedback from the various stakeholders are to be considered. The curriculum planning and implementation deploys the action plan for the implementation of the curriculum, and the teachers are supported, and the institution interact with the beneficiaries and stakeholders for the operationalization of the curriculum. So what we have to understand, you should know, you will be knowing about the curriculum development cell, the academic council, the board of studies which is functioning in an HEI. So what happens is, in a brief, first the framework of the curriculum will be developed by the curriculum CDC cell, and it will be given to the various programs, and they will be fitting onto the courses inside it, and it is to be passed by the academic council so as to come into existence. So when developing this framework, it should cater to the needs of vision and mission, and the courses to be included onto the curriculum should also cater to the needs of the global and local needs, national, global and local needs. Keeping that in mind, if you are going for it, if you have gone for taking the data over it, the key indicator 1.1 says that the institution ensures effective curriculum delivery through a well-planned and documented process. Yes, the framework will be given. Fitting into it, the courses is to be implemented. And how do we go for developing this curriculum framework? How are the courses included in it? And how well it is go along with the vision and mission, etc. is to be described. Any additional information regarding this and link to the additional information also is to be added along with the documentation, and it gives 10 marks for it. And what type of documentation can be maintained for this? They are the academic calendar. We start an academic year with an academic calendar. We'll be having the teaching plan. We'll be having the departmental meeting. We'll be having the learning outcomes. You know very well that in NAC, if we talk about the course, it is a subject that we teach. And if we talk about the program, it is a course likewise BEME or BSc, or like it will be like that. So learning outcome for each and every course of the program is to be taken. Timetable, how much hours we deliver. Each and every hours goes for a credit to that course. So timetable, how much credit paper it is allocated to the program is to be considered. So timetable is to be there, and teaching learning resources that we used, and attendance of the students, bridge and remedial courses that we are conducted for the slow learners, and question bank and previous years question bank that we have to maintain, and academic activity and its planning is to be approved. That document must be there, and result analysis must be kept, and teacher's diary, otherwise called as the pedagogy book, also is to be maintained. And these are things caters substitutes for the institution ensures effective curriculum delivery and well planned of the documented process. Next comes the institution adheres to the academic calendar, including the conduct of continuous internal evaluation. Normally, all the institution HEIs will be having continuous internal assessment for their students, and how you conduct it and how far the how do you do it, what is the difference, in which all days you do it, what is the way on to be, how do you do it, what is the way you do it. For example, for in a curriculum, for a course, if you are having 5 units, if you are taking 2 assessment over there, 2.5 units for the first, equally dividing the course over there, 2.5 units for the first internal assessment, 2.5 for the second assessment, and we may have the final CE assessment on to the last stage. So how you go for the internal evaluation or the comprehensive examination you conducted for the assessment of the course is to be done, and all the details regarding it, additional information and into the information also is to be given. Next is, teachers of the institute participate in following activities related to curriculum development and assessment of the affiliating university and are represented on the following academic bodies during the last 5 years. For any teacher of an higher education institution, if being an academic council or BOS of an affiliating university, or if he or she is gone for paper setting for the UG PG programs, and if he or she has designed and developed the curriculum for add-on certificate, diploma courses, etc., or if he or she is assessed, evaluated process of affiliating university, all the document is to be given. It is quantitative. QNM represent the quantitative. It is 5 marks is given. All the faculties of the institution, all the details is to be recorded over there. 1.1.3 says that academic council BOS of the affiliating university, paper setting of the UG PG program, the options, design and development of curriculum and add-on certificate diploma courses, assessment evaluation process of the affiliating university. If any all is there, you can opt the option all, any 3, any 2, any 1, whichever we go for, which applicable to us, we have to take it. So for year in 2020, Dr. Senthil Kumar, name of the body in which full-time teacher participated is the BOS for Anna University. If it is written over there, that details regarding the academic council or board of studies and related, you have to keep it on to it. So all the in which all year, so we'll be taking the NAC for the 5 years. So past 5 years, all the details are to be added. Now, for autonomous institutes alone, the curricular developed and implemented have relevance to the local, national, regional, and global development needs, which is reflected in POs, PSOs, and COs of the program offered by the institution. We all know that we have got POs, PEOs, and course objective and course outcomes over there. So, it should, what all course outcome we are having, for each and every course, it should satisfy the program outcome over there so that it meets the local, national, regional, and development needs. So you have to write a description regarding it of 500 words, 20 marks for it, and percentage of program where syllabus revision was carried out during the last 5 years. For example, assume that we are having a course like IoT. So if in that course, this year, after completion of the year, if you are getting the feedback from the stakeholders like the student, alumni, industry experts, and industry experts, or subject matter experts, etc., if they find it a change in it, you may go for a change inside it. For autonomous institution has got the facility to improve the curriculum over there, and how far the percentage of syllabus corrections can be made. If it is more than 20%, major changes happen, new subject can be done. If less than 5%, change in the subject or the curriculum course can be added. What all changes, how much percentage of the changes is reflected onto the course is to be noted, and it is to be documented. It is also a quantitative matrix. Percentage is to be calculated. Average percentage of the course having focus on employability, entrepreneurship, skill development offered by the institution during the last 5 years. Normally, when the framework is given by the curriculum development cell, what happens is, when you go for adding the courses inside it, it gives employability for the students, for entrepreneurship, skill development for the students. Skill development for the students, it goes for 10 marks. Next is criteria, academic flexibility. The assessment indicators, the institution gives institution as a mechanism to analyze and ensure that stated objective of the curriculum are achieved in the course of implementation. Freedom in the use of time frame is there, and it can offer a number of elective options, choice-based credit system. New programs and program combination can be made available to meet the needs of the students and the society. Students and the society, the curriculum, this is more applicable to the autonomous institution where they can offer the they can offer electives and open electives based on their choices. Now, the key indicator says 1.2.1, the percentage of programs in which choice-based credit system CBCS elective course system has been implemented. So, list of program with the elective option CBCS, choice-based credit system, what are all the list of programs that comes under CBCS? List of programs adopting elective course systems, and percentage of it is to be calculated. Any additional information regarding this is to be added along with it. This is also a qualitative matrix. So the criteria that comes like this: what is the course you are offered, course code, in which year you have introduced, the status of the implementation, elective course that you are having, year of implementation of the CBCS, link to the relevant document. For example, assume that your IoT for healthcare has been introduced this year, that is 2020. The start of this academic year 2021 you have implemented. So next year also, if you are continuing, so what happens means the status of implementation of LP core system, yes, in 2021-22 also, yes, year of implementation happens to be the previous year 2021. So the year of implementation and continuing also, you have to go for noting over it. The number of add-on certificate programs offered during the last 5 years. For the employability of the students, you can go for any of the certificate programs, likewise GSU program or a networking program, basic hardware program that can be introduced onto the curriculum so that it improve the employability of the students. So related to it, what are all the programs you have included has to be given. It is also a number of courses you have given has to be added. So quantitative QNM, 10 points for it. Then average percentage of students enrolled in certificate add-on programs as against the total number of students during the last 5 years. For example, in a class, if you are having 60 students, if the 60 students are enrolling for the basic hardware courses, naturally it happens to be the 100% of attendance over there. So similarly, if you are having any program, employability program or entrepreneurship program that has been considered onto the institution, the total students from the institution which is enrolled over it can be taken as a percentage, and the year-wise details of each program. You have to note the important points: name, duration, 6 months, minimum 30 hours is the measure given. So 30 hours or 1 month, 45 days, 60 days, 90 days. Name, duration, curriculum, assessment procedure, how you do it, outcome of the program, how far it was applicable to the students for the employability, list of enrolled students, attendance records of the students, certificate issued and feedback should be uploaded. All the details, whatever you have conducted is to be given. The number of add-on certificate programs offered during the last 5 years, average percentage, name of the add-on certificate program or basic hardware program, you can hardware example, course code you have to give, year of offering, number of times offered during the same year. Sometimes the students will be more in number. You can make it in 1 session, 2 session, 1 phase, 2 phase, 3 phase, or 1 session, 2 session, 3 session, like that. So how many phases you are conducted per in an academic year, duration of the course, number of students enrolled in the year, and those who have completed the course. All the details you have to give. So this is for year 1, year 2, year 3, 4 and 5. All the 5 years you have to take it. For autonomous institutes, percentage of the new course introduced of the total number of courses across all the programs offered during the last 5 years. So each and every year, if you are making a change in the curriculum, it is to be noted. If new courses are introduced inside your curriculum, it is to be noted, and the how much percentage of change in curriculum and add-on new courses are there, it is to be calculated. It's also a quantitative matrix, 20 marks for it. And we prefer go for adding new change in syllabus, keeping the basics over there so that the points can be added. Next comes the curriculum enrichment assessment indicators. Options are made available to students for acquiring additional skills which may not be directly linked with one's discipline of study, inter-institutional credit transfer, and integrates this, what they say is for acquiring additional skills which may not be directly linked one's discipline of study. For example, if a student of a science stream want to learn a subject from the commerce stream, he can go for we go for open elective system, where the student has got the flexibility of opting a subject from other streams. So inter-institutional, for completing of that course, the credit will be transferred. The institution integrates the cross-cutting issues such as gender, climate change, environmental education, human rights, human values, and professional ethics into curriculum. A course can be environmental studies or value education can be imparted so that the cross-cutting issues will be avoided. So to integrate for the cross-cutting issues, such courses can be included inside the curriculum. No. On to the key indicators, this is the institution integrates cross-cutting issues relevant to professional ethics, gender, human values, environment, sustainability into curriculum. A description of 500 words is to be given. So what are the courses available, the syllabus given for that particular course, how much hours it has been taken, and how the assessment is given, what was the outcome of it, all the details is to be given over it. And the average percentage of the courses that include experimental learning through project work, fieldwork, internship of the last 5 internship during the last 5 years is to be noted. So experimental learning is nothing. If you are giving a summer project or a mini project like that, they will be learning the thing. They will be learning the content through the project work. This is called as the experimental learning. It is one way of doing the experimental learning. So the program name, what you are giving program code for particular, for simple example, if you are got a subject of IoT, the IoT subject will be there. You can give the students a summer project or a mini project on IoT, so that they will be completing it and they will be doing the feedback. They will be experimenting through experimenting the content they learn through the project, and what all details they have it through it has to be given over there. So the average percentage of each and every course, if any conducted, that will be the details. The percentage of students undertaking project work, fieldwork, internship data for the latest completed academic year. So any of the project work or the fieldwork in any of the programs you are having, the details of it. The program code, program codes, list of the students undertaking project work, fieldwork or internship, and relevant link to the document is to be given. For autonomous institutes, number of value-added courses for imparting transferable and life skills offered during last 5 years. Life skills like communication skill, personality development, etc. If you are offering any of the courses like that, you can go for giving value-added courses for the students. You can add the number of courses over it, that it's a quantitative metrics, you can give the details. And average percentage of the students enrolled in the courses under 1.3.2 and above, that is how many students has enrolled for the personality development or the communication skill or anything like that, any of the life skill courses, if they had enrolled over it, its percentage is to be calculated. Again, for this 10 marks is there, 10 points is awarded. Now we have got the feedback system. A structured feedback from the students and other stakeholders is an important component, and analyzing the feedback and identifying and drawing pointers to enhance the learning effectiveness. The feedback system, the process of revision and redesign of curricula is based on the development and feedback from the stakeholders. It helps in improving the input. The HEI with feedback system in place will have an active process of not only collecting feedback from the stakeholders, but also analyzing it, identifying and drawing relevant pointers to enhance the effective learning. So, for example, for this, The institution obtains feedback from the syllabus and its transaction, and the institution from the following stakeholders: student, teachers, employers, and alumni. Normally, when a curriculum is framework is done and the courses are introduced in it, it is to be passed in the board of studies meeting, and then it will be gone to the it will be given to the academic council meeting for the approval. So before framing it and after framing it, we'll be having the we will be having the feedback from the industry persons, subject experts, university nominee, teachers, and alumni, and the present students, and we will see what are all the, whether it is feasible to have that curriculum, can be taken that curriculum into consideration. Any changes or modification or suggestions given by them will be taken into consideration, so that the curriculum can be enhanced, can be made better for the students. Once completion of this will be taken to the academic council for the approval. If the academic member secretary, council member secretary has approved it, it can be taken for the into the syllabus and can be taught to the students. So while you are taking options from students, teachers, employers, and everyone, if you are taken it from all the three, if all the four, if you are taken it, all the four you have to select the option, and the feedback should relate to the design and review of the syllabus. And one stakeholder, the sample filled onto the form, what are all the changes that require, what are all the suggestions given by the industry or the alumni or the university nominee or whoever is the person, is recorded, and it is to be recorded, and DVP may ask for the feedback from the randomly selected stakeholders for verification. These feedback is to be kept over there. When we on to the DVP, they will be asking for the verification, and we have to submit for it. The feedback process of the institution may be classified as collected, analyzed, action taken, feedback and action taken report available onto the website. That is, feedback should be first, whatever feedback is given by the 4 or 5 members will be collected. They will be analyzed. Correspondingly, the modification, adding new topics, removing new topics, or including some other topic, whatever may be things that will be done, and feedback and action taken report is to be considered, and it is to be recorded and filed. The document showing the feedback communicated to university and action taken by the university should be provided. It is to be filed and kept for the further. And the criteria, this in continuing with the criteria 2, we go for teaching, learning and evaluation. After the curriculum has developed and imparted over it, we go for the teaching, learning. The first criteria deals with what in learning, and the second criteria assess how the learning happens. Various evaluation and assessment practices are considered in this criteria. So the process should be realistic, achievable and aligned with the vision, mission and objective of the institution with locally available resources. The key indicators are student enrollment and profile, catering to student diversity, teaching learning process, teacher profile and quality, evaluation process and reforms, student performance and learning outcome, student satisfactory survey of 200 marks to university, 300 to autonomous college, 350 to affiliated and constituent colleges. The student enrollment and profile, in student enrollment and profile, average enrollment percentage of for past 5 years, we have to give data requirement last 5 years, total number of students admitted and total number of sanctioned seats. For example, if a university had allotted for us 50 seats, how many seats has been filled, how many has been vacant. Document required for this is document relating to sanction of intaking of the affiliating university government statutory board. We have to follow the rules and norms given by the GOI government and the university. Approve admission and list year-wise, program-wise from the affiliating university. Admission list per year and per program-wise. Each and every program, how many students has been admitted for each and every academic year is to be taken into consideration. Sanction admission strength in which program versus number of students enrollment wise, year wise. For example, 60 seats are there. If 50 is been allotted, 10 seats has been vacant. Or 60 is there, 60 has been 60 allotted, 60 sanctioned, and 60 is filled. 100% is filled. So such wise, all the percentages to be calculated. This is quantitative metrics of 20 marks. Then average percentage of seats filled against seat reserved for various category like SC, ST and OBC. So for this, the data requirement is for the last 5 years. Total number of students admitted from the reserved category, total number of seats enmarked as reserved category, government order or state government rule is to be followed, and a document required is copy of the letter issued by the state government or central government indicating the reserved category to be considered as per the state rule. The final admission list indicating the category as published by HEI, and admission extract submitted to the state OBC, SC, ST cell every year. Number of seats earmarked for the reserved categories. So how many seats are there? How many reservations are there? How many reservation seats are filled? How the allocations are made? All the details are to be documented. Supplementary seats of 4 in NRI and other special quota, special circumstances, extra seats are also to be considered. Catering to student diversity, satisfy the needs of the students from diverse background, including backward community from different locus. And so in this, we have got the key indicator. The institution assesses the learning levels of the student and special program for advanced learners and slow learners. How do you identify the advanced slow learners? During the admission counseling, we'll be knowing how much percentage he or she had got it. Score of entrance exam, if you are conducting for the intake of the student, that will know about it. And classroom interaction, we can assess. Qualifying examination mark, we can assess. Internal examination mark, we can assess the slow learners. We can understand who the slow learners are. And special programs for slow learners are to be conducted. It can be bridge courses, induction program, remedial coaching, ICT-enabled learning material, personal counseling, etc. And special programs for advanced learners can also be there. Research-oriented project you can give them so that they can really improve industrial training, institutional summer or winter internship, volunteer opportunities in event organization, class representatives, PE teacher, serving on various institutional committees, to form subject-related student societies and organize activities. These are all the various programs that can be given for the advanced learners so that they improve. And documentation is to be maintained a list of advanced and slow learners, notice related to various programs conducted for the slow learners and the advanced learners, attendance, feedbacks, success story with evidence after implementing this program, photographs related to it. All records must be maintained separately for each and every year. Second is quantitative. It is again a quantitative matrix of 2 marks. The student full-time teacher ratio. The total number of students enrolled in the institution, total number of full-time teachers in the institution. Student-teacher ratio is to be calculated. Documents required for this is certified list of full-time teachers along with the departmental affiliation in the latest completed academic year. Full-time teachers list we needed. List showing the number of students in each of the program in the last completed academic year. Who take 90% workload as defined by the statutory bodies will be considered as a full-time teacher, irrespective of the nature of their appointment. Whatever may be the appointment, if it is a full-time teacher, he or she must have the 90% workload. Teaching learning process. We all know that we are in the learner-centered education now, and we all HEI go for the learning management system and other e-resources to meaningfully incorporate the teaching learning. It is the teaching learning is context for critical thinking, creative and scientific temper. Related to it, we have got a key indicator of 20 marks stating student-centric methods such as experimental learning, participative learning, and problem-solving methodologies are used for enhancing learning techniques. So, prepare the descriptive of activities that you have performed to go for this student-centric learning, and the activities to be reflected in session plan of each teacher as well as in the workbank diary, that is pedagogy book, brochures, notices, and number of participants, outcomes of the activities, and outcome of that feedback about their experiences, and material prepared by students such as reports, PPTs, posters, assignment, etc. Some selected testimonials from the students. So for the experimental learning, the student, mainly the student develop knowledge, skills and values from direct experience outside the traditional academic setting. So it encompasses laboratory session with advanced experiments, internship to expand the knowledge of market trends, add-on courses on latest technology, case studies, prototype model making, visual aid usage, project development, etc. If any of the students has undergone this, its detail is to be collected and documented. And in participative learning, teachers becomes directed to participate. So we can have community activities, surveys, projects, field-based, field visit, workshops, role play, etc. All these are to be documented. And teachers uses ICT-enabled tools for effective teaching learning process. Highlight the use of ICT tools in regular classroom teaching learning process. Mention the use of some subject-specific tools, highlighting using their enhancing the learning experience like Moodle or mention the open source software Moodle licensed version if purchased. Documentation, list of ICT tools available in institution and their usage in teaching learning. Develop the dedicated web page on college website describing the availability of ICT tools, and photographs of the real-time usage is to be done. Next is the ratio of mentor to students for academic and other related issues. We are the mentors, we are facilitators or mentors, we are student centric. So what happens is, how do we go for doing it? Develop a form comprises basic information and capable to track the progress of the mentee. We have to keep track of the informations of all the informations of the mentee. Copy of the curriculum pertaining the details of the mentor and their allotted mentees. Approved mentor list as announced by the HEI. In addition, the issue raised and resolved in the mentor system has to be attached mentor-wise. some sample photographs of the meetings, attendance during the meetings, signature of the students should be collected, only full-time teachers to be considered for the appointment as the mentors. Web page consists of brief description of the mentor, award system with aims and objective, highlight success story if any. So it is based on the institution, the mentor-mentee relationship, how they maintain the details, periodic meeting, counseling, all the details are to be noted with signature of the students, and attendance of the students are to be maintained. It's very important. And the next is teacher profile and the quality. The teaching positions are to be filled in responsible time by strictly adhering to the UGC, state and central government, and the institution should have adequate and well-qualified faculties. The average, in this criteria, the key indicator, it is also a quantitative one with 20 marks. The average percentage of the full-time teachers against sanctioned posts during the last 5 years, the name and number of full-time teachers with years of teaching experience are required. Documents required are sanction letters indicating the number of posts, and subject-wise post or the competent authority, including management sanction post, is to be noted. Year-wise full-time teachers and sanction post for 5 years is to be done. Data template is given, and list of faculty members authenticated by the head of institution. Only full-time teachers taking more than 90% workload will be considered as a full-time teachers. Mere appointment letters provided in regional language cannot be considered. Appointment letters for the full-time teachers, a copy of it is to be taken into consideration. Average percentage of full-time teachers with PhD, MCH, DMD, super specialty, etc. List of teachers having doctorate degree, their certificate of the doctorate degree, degree from the recognized university, are to be documented and collected and kept. Next is the average teaching experience of full-time teachers in same institution. The list of faculties along with the particulars of the date of appointment in the institution and year of experience, appointment order, experience certificate as documentary evidence, work experience of the teacher in other institution not to be considered here. In this case, for example, if here one person is having, he or she is having an experience of 10 years in one institution and he has changed to come to another institution, while considering this NAC document, you don't want to consider the past 10 years. The appointment from this appointment onto this institution from the year of date of appointment is to be considered. Evaluation process and reforms. The institution adheres to the academic calendar for conduct of examination and disseminate the evaluation process to all the stakeholders. Transparency, security, and technology is effectively used in examination management process. Examination system tests the program specific outcome and course outcome. The institution has an effective mechanism for the redressal of the grievances pertaining to the examination. So the mechanism of internal assessment is transparent and robust in terms of frequency and mode. We have to describe in 500 words. So it should include the development of the standard procedure for internal assessment, continuous internal assessment, how you do for each and every course, displaying all information related to this to the students in advance. We have to give the internal markers to be known to the students. Long-term, short-term evaluation you are performing. For example, if inside while during an hour of the course itself, if you are having any of the assessment method, if you are using any of the assessment method, quick assessment method, it can also be considered. While evaluating tasking care for the learning domains like cognitive behavior, etc., considering POs, PSOs, and course outcomes. Mechanism to deal with internal examination related grievances is transparent, time-bounded, and efficient. I have to describe in 500 this qualitative metrics. So what we have to do is, what points to be added is, develop a standard policy for internal examination related grievances. Controller of examination section will be considering it. Who is responsible for appointment and competent authority controller section. Give the schedule for various kind of grievances. Highlight how the mechanism is easy and efficient. If possible, develop an online portal. And if the portal is there, you can give the link for it, or related document is to be, a link should be provided. Next, student performance and learning outcomes. The institution encourages all its departments clearly state the learning outcome of its program. The achievement of intended learning outcomes is central to the pedagogical and assessment process, falls in achievement of learning outcomes and suggests measures for improvement, that is through the feedback. Learning outcomes are specification of what a student should be capable of doing on successful completion of a course program. So on to it, the key indicator is 15 marks. Gives 15 marks. The teachers and students are aware of the stated program and course outcome of the program offered by the institution, which means that a student should know what course he is learning, what is the objective of learning it, and what will be after learning it, what will be the outcome, what he will gain from it. This is to be known for all the courses of the program. So the course outcome for all the courses and mechanism of communication with a minimum of 500 characters and 500 words can be given. Uploading POs, PSOs, COs in the college website is also a good measure. Keep printed in college prospectus, and it should be given to the students also. Attainment of program outcomes and course outcomes are evaluated by the institution. Describe the method of measuring the level of attainment of POs, program-specific outcomes, course outcome, and not more than 500 words. It is also a qualitative matrix, 15 marks. Document related to POs and COs evaluation is also to be noted. Next is the quantitative matrix of 20 marks. The average pass percentage of students during the last 5 years. Result sheet published by university, attested by the principal. That is result after result passing board, we will be having the published result over it. That is it. The certified report from the controller of examination of affiliating university indicating the pass percentage of the student of the final year eligible for the degree program. Result pertaining to the student other than the final year are not to be submitted. Only current final year students' data of all the programs for the past years are to be considered. No backlog students to be considered. Student satisfaction survey. Student satisfaction is a direct indicator of the effectiveness of the teaching learning in the institution. It showcases the actual quality of the teaching learning process. So it is a quantitative matrix of 60 marks. It says that online student satisfaction regarding to teaching learning process. One of the most important metric and having the highest weightage, 20% students should have to give response. Response should be should not be from the same device. Every year, the institution have to do the practice of the same questionnaire for SSS. Student survey. Data requirement as per the data template: name, class, gender of the student, student ID number, email ID, degree program he is doing or the program he is doing, and database of all currently enrolled students need to be prepared and shared to the NAC along with the online submission of the QIF, and they will be verifying the survey. They will be taking the survey and they will be assessing it. The third criteria is research, innovation, and extension. This criteria is about the academic research, extended consultancy services from the side of the institution towards the industry and the field of study, and extension, which is the outreach of the institution towards the society, addressing various real-life problems, finding solution, and other extracurricular activities to improve the overall quality of the institutions. The weightages: total of 250 for the university, autonomous college it is 150, 110 for the affiliated colleges, and 120 for the constituent colleges. The first of the key indicator happens to be the resource mobilization and facility. The faculties are encouraged to undertake interdepartmental and interdisciplinary research by collaborating with other research organizations and industry, and a significant number of research articles are published in reputed referred journal. The institution published books and proceedings based on research work of its faculty are to be noted. So the key indicator: research mobilization for research, 15 marks. The nature will be like this. The nature of the project, you have to select it. Duration, name of the funding agency given, total grant, you have to take it. Amount received in lakhs also you have to give it. Apart from it, the major, minor, industry, university, college, student, research project, international project, any other thing we have undergone, any of the faculties has undergone or students have undergone, the amount received, all the details with are to be documented. Next is innovation ecosystem. The institution to create an ecosystem for innovation, including incubation center and other initiatives for criteria and transfer of knowledge. The institution conducts workshops, seminars on intellectual property right and industry academia innovative practices. Awards for innovation won by teachers, students, and research scholars are commented by the institution. So the innovation ecosystem constitutes of three criteria. They says that the number of workshop seminars conducted on research methodology, intellectual property rights, and entrepreneurship during the last years. Awards for innovation won by the institution teachers, research scholars, students during the year. Number of incubation center created, startups incubated on campus during the year. Workshop seminars on IPR, title that is in the department in the date. IPR workshop, industry academia interaction, entrepreneurship to be added, research methodology, detailed report, number of participant photograph, that is geotype photograph are to be added. And award for innovation won by institution, teachers, research scholars, students during the year. Title of the innovation, name of the awardee, awarding agency, date of the award, category. Number of incubation, these are to be recorded and kept, and it is also a quantitative matrix. Next is number of incubation center created, startups incubated on campus during the year. Incubation center, name, who sponsored, name of the startup, nature of the startup, date of commencement, how in which institution, incubation center they are doing it, or colleges or other. Workshop seminars on IPR and sorry, it has been already told, IPR workshop, industry academia interaction, entrepreneurship to be added. And research, next of the criteria 3.3.3 says the research publication and awards. They says incentives to the teachers who receive recognition and awards. PhDs awarded during the year. Research publications in the journal notified on UGC website. Number of books and chapters in the edited volumes, book published, conference proceedings, bibliometrics of the publications during the last years based on the average citation index in Scopus, Web of Sciences, PubMed, H index of the institutional publications during the year based on the Scopus, Web of Science, faculty participation in seminar, conferences and symposia during the year. So incentives of the award recipient teachers, state, national or international, e-copies of the award, proofs of the incentives. PhD awarded during the year, which department, number of PhD award, e-copies of the PhD notification with the name of the research scholar and the guide. Research publication in the journals notified on UGC website. So, type of the journal, department, number of publication, average impact factor, you have to know it. Data sheet, the department, English department, number of publication is 9, average impact factor, if any, you have to add it, and all the details pertaining to it, you have to document. This is the UGC Care University PMA, which we can go for searching for the ISSN number for the UGC Care list. And understand, UGC approves only those journals which are there in the UGC's Care list. Other journals are not considered in the NAC process or any other accreditation. Books, chapters and proceedings. The department, number of publications. For example, the English department, number of publications 6 means the e-copies of cover, the publication of the book cover and index page and paper published should contain a unique ISBN. And bibliometrics of the publication based on average citation index in Scopus, Web of Science, PubMed. Title of the paper, if you have published an article, the title of the paper, name of the author, title of the journal, year of the publication, citation index, institution affiliation, number of citation including the self-citation, we have to do it. So one example is given below it. And faculty participation in seminars, conferences and symposia during the year. Collect data in Excel sheet with details of e-copies and certificate. Details of e-copies and certificate can be given as a link over there. The number of faculties, you have to select it, national, international, state and local. And e-copies can be as Excel sheet data, and e-copies of the certificate can be as a link or can be as a link in the Excel sheet. Next is the extension activities. The institution have a mechanism to track the students' involvement in various social movement like NSS, NCC, YRC, and it is to be encouraged by the institution also. Extension also in aspect of education which emphasizes the community services. So the criteria KA 3.4 extension activities, we have got three indicators. They say that matrices, they say that number of extension and outreach programs conducted in collaboration with industry, community and non-government organizations through NSS, NCC, Red Cross, Youth Red Cross, etc. during the year. The name of the student, from which department, which program, how many numbers, all the details are to be documented. Awards and recognition received for extension activities from government and other recognized bodies during the year. NSS NCC award for the students or for the institutions if you had received. Students participating in extension activities with the government organization, NGO and programs such as Swachh Bharat, aid awareness, gender issue during the year for the past 5 years, all the details is to be documented, recorded and kept. Number of extension and outreach activities format, type of the activity, organizing unit, NSS, NCT or whatever it is, number of teachers coordinating it, number of students participated. In data sheet, detailed report signed by the in charge and the principal, photograph with caption and date, number of participants, newspaper clips, etc. are to be considered. Awards and recognition for the extension activities. The awards to the institution and not to the institution and extension activities only. Local in nature such as urban, local bodies, panchayat, etc. are to be avoided. So, best NCC unit award, best NSS unit award, Swachh Bharat award by NGO, etc. are to be considered. Student participating in extension activities. Name of the scheme, organizing unit, agency, collaborating agency, name of the activity, number of teachers coordinated in such activities, number of students participated in such activities. Next is 3.7 collaboration. Criteria 3. The institution has a linkage for various activities such as faculty exchange, student placement, enhanced for the academic profile. The institution can have MOUs with institutions of national, international importance, other universities, industries, corporate houses, etc. That is, if you are having twinning program with any of the foreign universities, or if you are having any interdisciplinary faculty exchange, can also be considered here. The number of collaborative activities for research, faculty exchange, student exchange during the year, the linkage with institutions, industries for internship, on-the-job training, project work sharing for research facility during the year, MOU signed with the institution of the national, international importance and other universities, industries, corporate houses, etc. during the year. Collaborative activities for research, faculty, student exchange. Nature of the activity, participant, source of financial support, duration. Guest lectures, hands-on training, sharing facility, sharing expertise, research project, research guidance, etc. comes under this one. And linkage with institution, industries for internship, on-the-job training, project work, sharing of the research facilities, etc. Nature of the linkage, title of the linkage, for example, summer research project at so-and-so place, from the duration, our student XYZ has enrolled for so-and-so project under this institution, AICTE Calcutta. All these details, likewise, the data sheet should complete for all the students over. The students gone for the internship or the project work or the research training. If they have done all the details are to be considered. Number of functional MOUs. The data required are e-copies of the letters showing MOUs with other institutions, and MOU should be functional during the assessment period. MOUs with the sister institutions under the same list are not considered. During only other MOUs will be considered. For autonomous colleges only, the promotions of the research and facilities. The name of the teacher getting the seed money, the amount of the seed money, year of receiving and duration of the grant. So the institution may provide seed money to the teachers for the improvement of the research. All the details have to be recorded. So what documentation for the documentation, the list of faculties who have been awarded with seed money, the sanction letters of award of seed money to the teacher, and audited income expenditure statement are to be supported. And fellowship for postdoctoral research, fellowship visit, the teachers awarded national international fellowship and advanced study research during the year has to be taken into consideration. The fellowship for it, the fellowship for the postdoctoral research, fellowship visiting scientists, fellows of academics, Swarna Jayanti fellowship, Bhatnagar award, Satya Academy award, all these things are, if any, you have to document and include. Next comes the consultancy. The name of the consultant, corporate trainers, name of the consultancy project, corporate training, consulting, sponsoring agency with contact details, revenue generated, everything are to be noted and to be documented. Data submitted in SSR will be validated on the basis of AQAR, AICTE, NIRF, and InfriBinet. Presentation of the data is the most important thing. All the data documented must be valid. Next goes the criteria 4, infrastructure and learning resources. The criteria 4 is to assess the physical academic facilities and support system. Having a good learning environment and necessary facilities are important while working towards the quality of the education. Classroom, labs, technology, facility for physical fitness and medical purposes, proper and sufficient reference material are all vital for assuring high educational quality of the institution. Introducing ICT in education comes under this criteria. So, this key indicators are physical facility, library as a learning resource, IT infrastructure, maintenance of campus infrastructure, total of 104 university autonomous college and affiliated and constituent colleges. The physical infrastructure for teaching and learning includes classroom, learning support facilities, library and information resources, computing and IT facilities, well-equipped laboratories, auditorium or auditoriums, seminar halls. Highlight if any ultra-modern facility you may have. If you are having media center or anything like that, you may include. Support facility like hostel, canteen, sports and recreational facilities, healthcare center, student center, transportation, facilities and cultural activities. The physical facilities, the qualitative matrices, adequate facilities for teaching, learning, description of 500 words. The overall description should encompass optimal use, academic support system, upgradation policy and procedures, unique infrastructure for some special programs. If any exists in the institution, it is to be noted. ICT infrastructure, KRC infrastructure, any other recreation, canteen, medical center, restroom, etc. has to be included. And adequate facilities for cultural sports. 5 marks, description in 500 words. It should include complete description of the playground, indoor-outdoor games with user rate, how many users, how many students are using this indoor or outdoor games, inter-collegiate university competition games, gymnasium details, yoga meditation center, building terrace, cultural activities and support equipments, recording, photography and musical equipments. Special mention can be given to CCTV surveillance of full campus, certificate of building safety from disaster management authority and structural audit, fire safety certificate from relevant authorities, certification to laboratories, workshop facilities from some standard organization. Documentation, any additional information, upload the geotag photograph for all such facilities which have been mentioned, indicative bearing college logo name while being used by the stakeholders. PDF must be less than 5 MB, web portal link is to be included. ICT enabled facility smart class or LMS having 10 marks, quantitative. It should have LMS detail, geotag photographs of the semi-class, seminar halls, classroom clearly showing ICT facilities, purchase receipt, contracts, outsourcing details, LAN, Wi-Fi facility must be there. The PDF must be less than 5 MB. Paste web link for additional information. If you have web link for additional information, if onto your website, if you have given any link or if you have shown any of these, that can be given as a web link onto this documentation. Next is expenditure for infrastructure augmentation. Expenditure for the infrastructure augmentation, including the salary year-wise during the last 5 years, data template, upload plan, sanction letters, structural images of augmented infrastructure, college budget with clear headings, audited utilization statements. Library as a learning resource. Library has an adequate holding such as book, journals, other learning material and technology aided mechanism. Automation of library using integrated logistic management system. Use of e-journals and e-books could be there. The institutions must be connected with National Knowledge Network, InfinityNet, and also network with other libraries. Integrated Library Management System, ILMS. ILMS changes, updates, upgradation, version, report generation ability, accession, barcoding, stack distribution facility, inbuilt features, etc. are to be recorded. If any other extra duties were to be noted, library portal must have view account. How view account in the sense, how many users, how many persons has used the library, how many has getting come out, etc. Free software or open sources like OPAC. Purchase, license, validity, terms and condition and agreement of this OPAC and other softwares used in libraries are to be maintained, documented and maintained. Next is e-resources subscription, e-journal, SOGANGA membership. We have to opt all or whichever is applicable, and data requirement for the last 5 years as per the data template in section B. Details and the membership details of the subscription, screenshot of facility in library portal. Library expenditure, annual expenditure of the library for the books and journal, year-wise for the past 5 years. Data requirement for the last 5 years, data template as per the data template, expenditure of the purchase of the book, expenditure of the purchase of the journal, all you have to upload the orders, purchase receipt, bill, audit statement of the account, etc. Next is the quantitative metrics of 5 marks. The number of teachers and students using library per day over last 1 year. Data requirement, template is given. Upload last page of assistant register detail. We'll be having the assistant register detail. How many students has been visited the library. It is to be scanned and it is to be taken. Method of computing per day usage of library. Number of users using library through e-access. Number of physical users accessing library. Any additional information, upload the PDF images of the entry register, library usage, details of the library usage of teachers and students as per the data template is to be uploaded. IT infrastructure assessment indicators. The ICT facilities and other learning resources are adequately available for academic and administrative purposes. The institution must deploy and embrace ICT for their range of activity, and upgrading the IT facility has latest computing facility, hardware and software are to be recorded. So in the qualitative metrics of 5 mark, on 500 words, we have to describe about the IT facility, Wi-Fi updation frequency, etc. The year-wise description of license, software, version, upgradation, features, validity, maintenance details, technician description is to be given. Year-wise status of the hardware such as number of computers, their version details, specification, switches, routers, cabling details, connection details, etc. are to be noted. LAN facility status details, Wi-Fi connectivity, firewall, internet facilities such as speed, ISP and other specification, antivirus, etc. College website creation, maintenance, updation status, etc. are to be described in 500 words. Special mention to UPS and other UPS and other sources facility, the process followed for technology augmentation, upload any additional information, likewise agreement, orders, bill, receipt, system representation, use of photographs, block diagrams, etc. If any information related to this aspect on website, its link is to be noted. And IT facilities, if any innovative way of facilities is to be included in the institution, it can also be recorded. Student computer ratio, it is a quantitative matrix of 10 marks. It goes for taking the details of number of students to number of computers in working condition, total number of students which is to be calculated. upload any information like photographs of the computer lab while students performing practical, student computer ratio, detailed list of computers in all departments. While computing this ratio, consider the batch size, how many students in a particular batch, how many computers are used. Bandwidth of internet connection in the institution. Select the options applicable, and after selecting it, the data required are upload any additional information, agreement, orders, billing receipt indicating Mbps, details available for bandwidth of internet connection, list of ISP and technical details of leased line, etc. No wireless bandwidth is accepted. Maintenance, next comes the maintenance of the campus infrastructure. Regular maintenance and replenishment of infrastructure is essential. Develop a mechanism to keep up the infrastructure facilities and promote the optimum use of the same. And a quantitative matrix of 10 marks is there. Here we have to describe the year-wise expenditure for the last 5 years. Physical facility, building renovation, cleaning charges, electricity bill, charge for other utilities, property taxes, etc. All the record must be taken, has to be recorded. Academic support, subscription charges of journals, internet charges, auditorium charges, paid learning software, services hired for academic purpose, outsourcing, etc. are also to be described. Any additional information must be geotag photograph of maintenance work, receipt, contact programs must be added, and the PDF must be less than 5 MB. Details about the assigned budget and expenditure on physical facilities and academic facilities as per the data template. Audit statements of the account, audit statement PDF less than 5 MB, audit extract are to be recorded and uploaded. Next is the qualitative matrix of 10 marks. Quantitative matrix of 10 marks. Establish system and procedure for maintaining and utilizing infrastructure. The policy detailed procedures, outsourcing agencies, method of reimbursement of college follows is described here. Upload the policy document, work order letter, agreement, bill pay receipt, LMC, CDC report, experts, etc. All the details are to be maintained and uploaded. So the percentage on overall of this, we have got the percentage of classroom seminar halls with ICT enabled 10 marks, average expenditure 10 points, e-resource 6, percentage per day usage of 5, institution frequently update in IT facility 5 marks, student computer ratio 10, bandwidth 15, average expenditure incurred in maintenance 10, established system and procedure maintenance 10. Next we'll go for the criteria 5, student support and progression. This criteria focus on the ensuring proper participation of students in academics and student support for the side of the institution. Mentoring and providing guidance for the student in various aspects of education and their field of studies also matters. Helping and guiding the students in their education contributes into the overall quality of education. How the institution facilitate the progression of the student to higher level of education and or towards the employment is an important factor by making this criteria, and the key indicators happens to be student support, student progression, student participation and activities, alumni engagement, and total of 100 marks for university and autonomous college and 140 for affiliated and 130 for the constituent colleges. Student support criteria 5 indicator 1 says the adequate student welfare measures and other means are indicated by the institutions. Provision made for bridge and value added courses in relevant areas. Personal enhancement and development schemes like coaching classes, competitive examination, career counseling, soft skill development, and placement cell, guidance cell, grievance redressal cell, etc. So in this, the average percentage, the key criteria 5.1 quantitative matrix of 20 marks. The average percentage of students benefited by scholarship and free ships provided by the government during the last 5 years. The number of students benefited by the scholarship and free provided by the government year-wise for the last 5 years is to be there. The last 5-year data, scholarship and free ship, that is fee waiver if it's having, and tuition fee waiver if any of the student has tuition fee waiver, that details is to be given, and the student details like their the year, the name of the scheme under which he comes, the number of students benefited by the government, NGO, or number of students by the institution, etc. are to be done. And additional information like upload the sanction letter. This so-and-so student has been provided with a fee waiver of one for a semester or two. So whatever may be the letter that has been given, that sanction letter is to be considered. And consolidated report of the scholarship, freeship, and number of students coming under this category of all programs, and has to be uploaded and must be provided to the SSR. Next is average percentage of students benefited by scholarship, freeship, etc. provided by institution, non-government government agencies during the last year. Here, the name of the scheme with data requirement for the past 5 years as per the data template is to be given. Here, the scholarship of freeship from institute and NGO is to be added. Institution, NGO scholarship, freeship sanction letter, upload the SSR, audit statement of the expenditure, consolidated report including student list, upload to the college website and provide to the link SSR. First is government, second is the NGO and other institutions, and the schemes that is provided apart from the government. Next is capacity building, like soft skill, language and communication skill, life skills, yoga, physical fitness, health and hygiene, ICT and computing skill. What all is provided for the institution, for the students. If all the above or whatever is your option, whatever is the institution option is to select it. And the soft skill like teamwork, dependability, adaptability, leadership, problem solving, flexibility, creativity, on which to organize motivational lectures, workshops, training. If any lectures, workshops and training is conducted based on it, it is to be considered. Language and communication skill, ICT computing skill, content skill development certificate courses, the course conducted, the duration, number of students participated, the certificate issued, the outcome of the course, everything are to be recorded. Life skills, yoga, physical fitness, health, hygiene, etc. The training and workshop related to this is to be conducted and are to be documented. The picture photographs are to be, geotag photographs are to be taken and to be documented. Additional information of the FOSET scheme on college website with each detailed timetable, trainer, list of the students enrolled, provide link. Curricular brochure, report of the event activity, upload to SSR and on website. Upload completed student list with sample completion certificate. Or for all the soft skill or all the capacity building training programs or workshops conducted, we have to go for sample completion certificate, and students participation certificate is to be maintained and documented. Next is average percentage of students benefited by guidance for competitive examination and career counseling offered by the institution during the last 5 years. If the institution is providing any career guidance for the competitive examination like IAS, IPS or etc., that details is to be considered. For yearly or in a periodic way they are conducting, all the details are to be recorded. The last 5 year data, students benefited, how many students are benefited, how many are enrolled, the guidance for the competitive examination, career counseling, data template, year, name of the scheme, number of students benefited, attended, participated, passed, placed by the career counseling, competitive examination activity are to be recorded, and additional information regarding the circular, brochure, notices uploaded, list of students attended, that is their attendance report, benefit timetable, list of trainer uploaded, feedback, activity report, newspaper cutting, all these things are to be recorded and maintained. Next is, the institution has a transparent mechanism for timely redressal of student grievances, including sexual harassment and ragging cases. Opt it, whatever may be the option of the institution can opt it. And the student grievance committee, anti-ragging cell, internal complaint cell, the data required for it is upload the grievance redressal policy document with reference to prevention of sexual harassment committee and anti-ragging committee, constitution of the various committee for addressing the issue, minutes of the meeting of the committee, number of cases received and redressed. If any existing can go for it, if no, it will be nil. File description, upload the minutes of the meeting of the Student Redressal Committee, Prevention Sexual Harassment Committee, upload any additional information, in details of the student grievances, including sexual harassment and ragging cases, if any exist, all the details are to be included. Any of the awareness program related to it, if it is conducted by seminars are conducted, all the details can be documented and included here. Next is student progression. The assessment indicator says the on-campus interviews are essential mechanism to ensure student placement. It is an institution provision for vertical growth in higher education and employment to be created. Institution facilitates students to publish material like catalogs, wall magazines, institution magazines, etc. So based on it, the key indicators in criteria 5, it's a quantitative matrix. We have to calculate the average percentage of the placement of the outgoing students in the past 5 years. So last 5 years data with the list of students placed. Data template, you have to include the year on to which place, number of students placed, name of the employer like TCS, CTS or anything, packages received, program graduated from. Additional information like appointment letter, self-attest with package, upload on website provided link, annual report mention placement, placement cell report, student database on college website, alumni association report, list of students placed with sign of the principal. All these additional information can be included. Next is average percentage of the student progression to higher education. Assume that the student is undergoing an undergraduate course, if is going for the PG or PG to MPhil or from PG to PhD, MPhil to PhD or PhD to postdoctoral. All the higher education details of the students are to be recorded, data are to be collected and recorded and maintained. The student progress for set. So the progression of the students in the year, number of students enrolled to a higher education, program graduated from, department graduated from, name of the institution joined, name of the program admitted. If on to the same institution also, we have graduation and post-graduation is done on the same institution also, it is to be considered. The list of student progress for higher education with the details of admitted institute program authenticated by the principal, bona fide certificate ID of the admitted student, student database on college website, alumni association report, minutes of meeting, etc. are the additional information which are to be considered. Next is average percentage of student qualifying in state, national, international level examination during the last 5 years. That is set GATE, GRE, TOEFL, MPSC, UPSC, etc. The data template includes the data collected to be collected as year, registration number, roll number of for exam, number of students selected qualified for a first set. Additional informations like detailed list of contact number of students qualified, selected with the field of specification, grade card, student database upload on college website. As above, appearing at list of students with each detail authenticated by the principal, acknowledgement received after submission of the application is also needed. Next is criteria 5.3, student participation and activities. The institution promotes inclusive practices for social justice, providing specific student support to SC, ST and OBC and other economically weaker section of the society. Encouraging student participation in activities for developing various skills and competencies and foster holistic development. The key indicator happens to be the number of awards, medals for outstanding performances in sports, cultural activities at university, state, national, international level for the past 5 years and maximum of 20 marks. File description include e-copies of the award letters and certificates. Any additional information, number of awards, medals for outstanding performance in sports, cultural activities at national, international level during the last 5 years. The last 5 year data template include the data to be collected as year, name of the award, medal, university, state or national, international, sport, cultural, Aadhaar, student ID, name of the student, e-copies of the letter of the award winning, photos and award receiving upload to the SSR and newspaper cutting is to be there. Next, in 3.2, institution facilities students' representation and engagement in various administrative, co-curricular and extracurricular activities. As per the government rule of government of Kerala or Tamil Nadu dated so and so, the ordinance number, the student constituted a student council. When student council is to be constituted, it must be as per the government rule. The constitution, the student council, the council, principal chairman, NSS program officer, student welfare officer, secretary, student representative from each program, all class representative as a member, student representative sports, student representative cultural, student representative NSS, NCC, and girl student representative must be there. Besides this, college constituted various committees including student representative to carry out academic administrative activities, and IQAC CTC anti-ragging committee, student grievance redressal, sport and culture committee, etc. Then additional information of uploading constitution and process of student council on website providing notice circular last 5 years student council list, aforesaid committee minutes of the meeting. Student council meeting held, the date, the students present, the members of the student council, all the details must be recorded and kept. Next, 5.3.3, it's also a quantitative matrix. The average number of sports and cultural events competition in which students of the institution participated during the last 5 years. Report of the event, upload any additional information, number of sports and curricular activities competition organized per year. Last 5 years, cultural and sports event, competition organized by institute, other institute, but participated by the students. Data template, year, name of the activities, number of activities. Additional information, name of the activities, list of participant students, notice, time schedule, report of activities, photos, upload to the SSR and college website. Next is alumni engagement assessment indicators. Alumni association can contribute significantly in academic matters, student support, and resource mobilization for both financial and non-financial. Institution nurtures the alumni association chapter for their active involvement. Related to it, we have got a key indicator. It's a qualitative matrix of 5 marks. That's a register, describe the contribution of alumni association to the institution with a maximum of 500 words. You can have the pasting for additional information. Upload any additional information can also be there. The information that requires us: registration of the alumni, registration certificate, constitution of alumni association, photographs of events and reports, donation and other than monetary activities of alumni association are all to be recorded, documented. Alumni contribution during the last years. It's a quantitative matrix of 5 marks, and anyone you can opt how much is the amount that is being contributed to the institute can be considered through or can be opted through the list given. For last year, opt anyone for set. Data template includes the details of name of the alumni association, alumnus of Aadhaar or PAN, year of graduation, year of contribution, quantum of contribution. Quantum is nothing, the amount of contribution given by the alumnus to the institution. Additional information, upload the audited statement of monetary donation with significance of CA auditor. Through the chartered accountant, how much amount is being donated. That related documents are to be recorded, maintained and managed. Next is criteria 6, governance, leadership and management. Governance and management are the backbone of the institution. Having a well-structured governing body and a management helps to find the address gaps in practices and efficiently implement proper counter mechanism on time. The quality and future of the institution depends on it. The internal quality assurance, faculty empowerment, financial resource management, strategy development all comes under this criteria. The key indicators are institution vision and leadership, strategy development and deployment, faculty empowerment strategies, financial management and resource mobilization, internal quality assurance system, total of 100 marks for university, autonomous college, affiliated and constituent colleges. The key indicator of our first one is institutional vision and leadership. The vision, mission and goal of institution are in tune with the objective of the higher education. The governance of the institution is reflective of an effective leadership. The institution practices decentralization and participative management. The institution formulates its strategic planning and interacts with the stakeholders. The institution grooms leadership at various levels. So based on it, we have got the six criteria. On to the six criteria, we have got key indicator. One is institution vision and leadership. Second is strategy development and deployment. It gives effective feedback of the system involving from the stakeholders. Perspective plan document is an important component of the institution strategy development and deployment process. And faculty government empowerment strategies. The institution adheres to government order, state government policies for recruitment, welfare mechanism for teaching and non-teaching staff, autonomy to academic department, and conduct programs to enhance the competency of the faculty and non-teaching staff. And financial management, resource mobilization. The institution and leadership take initiative for mobilization of the resources. It conducts internal and external audit regularly. It maintains reserve and corpus fund. It should have adequate budgetary provisions for academic and administrative activities. Internal quality assurance system. The internal quality assurance cell IQAC has to contribute significantly to institutionalizing quality assurance strategy and processes. Academic audit of department and its impact is an important quality initiative of the institution conducted by IQAC. The institution review its teaching learning process, structure, methodologies of operations and learning outcomes at periodic interval. The institution adopts quality management strategies in all academic and administrative perspectives. Now we'll go for all the 5 key indicators of the criteria 6. In first one, it is a qualitative matrix of 5 marks. The governance of the institution is reflective of an effective leadership in tune with the vision, mission of the institution. So we should have the draft and revisit of vision and mission, upload and provide space on college website, letterhead, magazine, college premises, etc. The logo of the college, etc. This should be reflected through perspective plan. Participation of teachers and other officials in decision-making bodies, minute of meetings such as CDC, IQAC and other committees. All the minutes, all the committee members, the IQAC meeting and their committee meetings, and all the circulars are to be recorded and are to be maintained. Next is qualitative metrics of 5 marks. The effective leadership is visible in various institutional practices such as decentralization and participative management. The 2 points are IT infrastructure augmentation and addition of resources in library. For this, the meeting minutes, action taken reports and related documents, upload aforesaid information on website and provided link. Next is the institutional strategic perspective plan is effectively deployed. On activities one activity successfully implemented based on the strategic plan, we have to upload it. Strategy is designed and accomplished the vision of the institution, determines the future course of the action. So the institution strategic and perspective plan for a year is to be considered. One such, how many plans an institution has considered, the action plan that institution has considered for a year is to be considered. How many plans has been completed, successfully completed, its outcome, etc. are to be considered. The document is prepare and communicate perspective plan including the assessment period and future. And the case study is planning new program, teaching, learning or resource generation, deployment proof is ATR and the case study supporting documents, website uploading. So whatever action plan when completed, it should be uploaded onto the website. Next is the functioning of the institutional bodies is effective and efficient as visible from the policies, administrative setup, appointment and service rules procedures. Documents to be considered are defined administrative and academic setup through organogram. Organogram is nothing that is organizational chart from top level to the bottom level. Each and every person is included inside it. That comes the organogram. Define roles, responsibility of various bodies like GC, CDC, IQAC, cells and committees. Documented and approved policies and procedures for appointment, promotion, service provided, grievance redressal mechanism, etc. See, all the document provided policies for the appointment of faculties, promotion, service provided, grievance redressal, they are to be maintained and recorded. Next is a quantitative metrics of 4 marks, implementation of e-governance in areas of operation, finance and accounts, students admission and support. Select the option applicable, and even in institutional MIS is also a part of it. Documents to be submitted or considered are ERP document of the institution, screenshot of the interface, bills for the expenditure on implementation of e-governance in the area of operation, policy document on e-governance, approved report of annual e-governance by General Council, CDC, Board of Management, etc. See, ERP document enters full institutional MIS, going for the financial accounts, student admission and support, and the learning process. It can be a single one or it's a separate one, but it should include it should give full details regarding the approved report of the annual e-governance by the GCCDC and Board of Management. Next is the qualitative metrics of 5 marks. The institution has effective welfare measures for teaching and non-teaching staff. It includes promoting self-development, group insurance, provision for different types of leaves, fees installment for wards of staff, provident fund, loan facility through the institution cooperative bank or recommendation for loan of other banks, healthcare, tie-up with nearby hospitals, college uniform to non-teaching staff, accommodation facilities, transport facilities, tea club, felicitation on achievements, canteen facility with a discount for teaching, non-teaching, bank on campus, RO drinking water facilities, Mediclaim facilities, recommendation. These are the welfare measures and minimum of for teaching and non-teaching staff an institution should have, and all the things are to be considered. Next is also a quantitative metrics of 1 mark. The average percentage of teachers provided with financial support to attend conferences, workshops, and towards membership fees of professional bodies during the last 5 years. Documents required for it is policy document providing financial support to teachers, e-copy of letters indicating financial assistance to teachers, and list of teachers receiving financial support of year-wise under each head, audited statement of accounts highlighting the support amounts, DVV, in DVV specific information of the teacher is to be given. Next is a quantitative metrics of 5 marks. The average number of professional development administrative training program organized by the institution. It should include, the document should include the brochures, year-wise report, list of participants in each program, photograph with date and caption. All the training program organized by the institution for the benefit of the teaching and non-teaching faculties. Next is the quantitative metrics of 5 marks. The average percentage of teachers undergoing online FTP, online or face-to-face FTP during the past 5 years, professional development program, orientation, induction program, refresher course, etc. are to be considered. And onto it, the documents to be considered: orientation program, refresher course, short-term program, or other program as per UGC, AICTE stipulated period participated year-wise. E-copy of the certificate of the program attended by the teachers, list of participating teachers as per the prescribed format year-wise during the last 5 years, annual report of highlighting the programs undertaken by the teaching faculties. Special attention is to be given if one teacher has attended more than one professional development program in a year, only one is to be considered. Attending seminars, invited talks not to be considered. Programs of duration less than 1 week will not be. duration less than 1 week will not be considered. Minimum of 35 to 40 hours is to be taken into consideration. Institution has performance appraisal system for teaching and non-teaching staff. Document, institution performance-based appraisal system policy stating scope and frequency, actual form teaching faculty, academic, administrative, research and extracurricular activities, non-teaching, professional competence performance, character outstanding contribution can be considered through this appraisal. Next is a qualitative metrics of 6 marks. Institution conducts internal and external financial audit regularly. Various internal and external financial audit carried out during the last 5 years with a mechanism for setting audit objections. Documents, internal and external financial audit conducted by the higher education institution, formal mechanism established for setting audit objections. Internal audit, the auditor appointed by the institute annually plays CDC and GC governing council. External audit, CA appointed senior auditor JD office, higher education, government auditor general AG. Minor queries resolved immediate after complaints. Then additional information, cover page, extract of the audit report, internal and external audit year-wise is to be considered. Next, qualitative metrics of 8 marks. Funds, grants received from non-government bodies, individuals, philanthropists during the last 5 years. It is not covered under criteria 3, donations, etc. The documents is copy of the letter indicating grants, funds received from respective agency or individual as stated in metric. Annual audit statement of accounts highlighting the grants received, noting funds from own institution, own trust and sister institution may not be considered. Contribution in the form of equipment, software, etc. not to be counted. So any agencies or NGOs, if you are receiving any fund from it, can be considered. Next is criteria 6.4.3 of qualitative metrics of 6 marks. The institution describe the resource mobilization policy and procedure for the institution. This is institution strategies for mobilization of fund and optimal utilization of the resources. The documents are deciding resource mobilization strategy policies, consideration and identification of priority areas, concern and capability, organizational clause, monitoring and evaluation of resource mobilization, source of income from government bodies, NGO, fees of students, grants of UGC, donations, consultancies, mechanism of financial management for optional utilization of the resources, that is kept for discussion and a formal approval for the CDC forwarded to GC, wherein approval that can also be considered. Approval, sanction, purchase letter quotations, account section maintained documentation and financial recorded entered in stock register, internal audit and external audit. Next is qualitative metrics of 10 marks. Internal quality assurance cell has contributed significantly for institutionalizing the quality assurance strategies and processes. Describe 2 practices institutionalized as a result of IQAC initiatives. Institutionalization of IQAC in higher education institutions. Examples like skill development courses, ICT supportive teaching learning, collaborative activities in the field of academic, alumni involvement in quality improvement, expanding research activities, mapped outcomes, mention outcomes for set. If anything is there, it can be described for the described and it can become comes under the influence reference of IQAC. Next is the qualitative metrics of 10 points. Describe any 2 examples of institutional reviews and implementation of teaching learning reforms facilitated by the IQAC. Incremental improvement made for the preceding 5 years with the regard of quality, post-accreditation quality initiatives. Documents are IQAC meeting records, AGRs and proposal forwarded, methodology suggested, augmented and deployed, outcome writing and mapping, ICT and training, feedback collection from respective stakeholders related to academic, co-curricular, extracurricular activities, analysis of feedback and fulfillment, action taken, operational methodology for post-accreditation quality initiatives. These methodologies of operations and learning outcomes at periodic interval through IQAC as per the norms are to be recorded, and incremental improvement in various activities are to be shown. Next is qualitative metrics. It shows that quality assurance initiatives of the institution include proceedings of the meeting of the IQAC, feedback analysis and action taken report, activities conducted and collaborative quality initiatives with other institutions, supporting documents pertaining to NIRF, ISO certificate, NBA certificate or quality certificate from any recognized state, national quality initiatives. Next, we go for criteria 7, innovation and best practices. This criteria is to assess factors like the approach of institution towards greener, eco-friendly campus, energy conservation in the institutions, innovative ideas implemented in the institutions, and practices towards a common better future, etc. These all proclaims the major perspectives of the institution towards the outside world, and it's a moral value. The best practices include anything that have contributed towards the institutional objectives and quality improvement. The key indicators are institutional values and social responsibilities, best practices, institutional distinctiveness, total of 100 marks for universities, autonomous colleges, affiliated colleges, and constituent colleges. The institutional values and social responsibility expresses concern for human values and professional ethics, and shows concerns for social responsibilities as well as values in its regular activities. So first is gender equity, measures initiated by the institution for the promotion of gender equity during the last 5 years. Documentation, that is co-curricular activities, facilities for women on campus, etc. Description of 500 words, 5 marks. Documentation, provide link to annual gender sensitization action plan. Specific facilities provided for women in terms of safety and security, counseling, common rooms, daycare center for young children, any other relevant information. Next is environmental consciousness and sustainability. The institution has facilities for alternate source of energy and energy conservation measures. Solar energy, biogas plant, weeding to grid, sensor-based energy conservation, LED bulbs, power efficient equipment. Whatever you are using, you opt any one of, take the option from it and upload, but geotag photograph is required. Any other relevant information like bills, communication letters, electricity bill showing reduced consumption of unit, etc. are to be taken into consideration, and all that are to be documented and uploaded. Next is that describe the facilities of the institution for the management of the following types of degradable and non-degradable waste. It is of a description of 500 words, 4 marks. Solid waste management, liquid waste management, biomedical waste management, e-waste management, waste recycling system, hazardous chemicals and radioactive waste management. Any of the measures, if you are taken onto the institution, is to be considered. The documentation for the above is provided web link to the relevant documents like agreements, MOUs with government and other agencies, geotag photographs of the facilities, any other relevant information. Next is environmental consciousness and sustainability. Rainwater harvesting, borewell, open construction of tanks and bunds, wastewater recycling, maintenance of water bodies and distribution of the system in the campus. You can opt any one of it, and its distribution is to be given. Documentation, for documentation, geotag photographs and videos of the facilities of the rainwater harvesting, construction of tanks and bunds, wastewater recycling, maintenance of water bodies must be there. Any other relevant information, policies regarding water conservation is to be included. Environmental consciousness and sustainability, restricted entry of the automobiles, use of bicycles, battery-powered vehicle, pedestrian-friendly pathways, ban on use of plastic, landscaping with tree and grass. You can opt which are all the options you have used, and you have to upload geotag photos, videos of the facilities, relevant documents, reports and photos of the events organized, if any. Reports and photos of the events of the seminar or the workshops conducted related to it can be considered. Environment conscious and sustainability, again, green audit, energy audit, environment audit, Clean and Green Campus Recognition Awards, beyond the campus environment promotional activities. If you have done any, you can opt how many your institution has given, you can choose the option, and have to upload reports on environment and energy audits submitted by the auditing agency, certification by the auditing agency, certificates of the awards received, any other relevant information. 5 marks goes for this. And again, build institution disabled friendly, barrier free environment. Build environment with ramps, lift off, easy access to classrooms, disabled friendly washroom, signage including tactile path, lights, display boards and signposts, assistive technology and facilitate for the person with disability, accessible website, screen reading software, mechanized equipment, provision for inquiry, information, human assistant, reader, script, soft copies of reading material, screen reading. If anything you are having, you can opt the number of options you are having in your institution, and description regarding it goes for the 4 marks. Documentation required, policy document and information brochure, link to geotag photos and videos with the date and caption, bills and invoice, purchase order, AMC in support of the facility. A restroom should include specific requirement of Vijnan for the use of toilet and other facilities. Brief report on facilities provided for inquiry and information. Bills for the software produced for providing the assistance. Next is inclusion and straightness. So describe the institutional effort initiatives in providing an inclusive environment, that is tolerance and harmony towards cultural, regional, linguistic, communal, socio-economic and other diversity. You should provide link to supporting documents on the information provided and any other relevant information. Socio-economics, cultural, if you are having foreign students association, their culture festival or supporting their culture, whatever you are doing in your institution can be considered over here. So promoting the value of cultural diversity, we have to go for verifying, does the environment reflect the cultural diversity? That the diversity, do you have any challenge in discrimination of the prejudice? Do you have culture of individual children with whom you work, and do the material used by the teaching take into account for the cultural diversity? Does the cultural diversity only acknowledged at certain times of the term? All the things are to be considered for promoting, valuing the cultural diversity. And the best practices checklist are contributing to an inclusive environment onto the institution. We have to consider, know the individual needs of the children and any potential barriers to their learning. If any of the potential barriers exist onto the learning, that is to be considered. Listen to children and involve them in their own learning. Know the background and interest of the individual children and draw on these when support their learning. Include material and resources in your work with children which reflect diversity in society. Find out the individual target of the children with whom you work. Use different strategies to support children with their learning. Have high expectation for all children. Report any concern that you have about the children's progress and or well-being onto this one. If you want to report, you can report it. These are the things to be considered. Human values and professional ethics. Sensitization of the students and employees of institution to the constitutional obligations, value rights, duties and responsibilities of citizens. Describe the various activities in the institution for being inculcating value responsible citizens as reflected in the Constitution of India. It provides details of the activities that inculcate values necessary equality, fraternity, human dignity, and the unity of integrity of the nation. And the institution has prescribed code of conduct for the students, teachers, administrators, and other staff, and conducts periodic programs in this regard. The code of conduct is displayed on the website. There is a committee to monitor adherence to the code of conduct. Institution organizes professional ethics programs for students, teachers, administrators, and other staff. Annual awareness program on code of conduct are organized. Documentation include policy document on code of ethics, proceedings of the monitoring committee, curriculars and geotag photographs of the activities organized under the metrics for teachers, students, administrators, and other staffs, documents showing code of conduct for student, teachers, governing body, and administration, handbooks, manuals, and brochures on human values and professional ethics, reports on the student attributes facilitated by the institution, web link to the relevant documents in HI's website. Human values and professional ethics, a description of 500 words, effort taken by the institution in celebrating, organizing national and international commemorative days, events and festivals during the last 5 years. Provide web link to annual report to these celebration and commemorative events for the last 5 years, geotag photographs of some of the events, any other relevant information. 7.2 best practices. Describe any two best practices successfully implemented by the institution as per NAC format provided in the manual. Our best practices title, objective, contest in 150, while problem encoded in the resource required evidence and practices is to be documented. It carries 30 marks. Institutional distinctiveness is priority thrust in 1000 words. Description is given 20 marks. Provide web link to appropriate tab in the institutional website, any other relevant information. The placement given, holistic development, research, infrastructure, transparency and rigor. And consolidate list of the documents. Geotag photographs of the facilities with caption, bill for the purchase of equipment for the facilities created, policy document on the green campus, circulars on implementation of the initiatives, policy document on environment and energy usage, policy document on code of ethics. Consolidated lists of documents include the certificate from the auditing agency, certificates of awards received from the recognized agency, report on environmental promotional activities conducted beyond the campus with geotag photographs with caption and date, handbooks, manuals and brochures on human values and professional ethics, report on the students' attributes facilitated by the institution. So the total weightage of each criteria happened to be 1000 for university, autonomous institution 1000, and affiliated institution for the 1000. And the NAC assessment process, I will conclude the NAC assessment process. For the assessment of a unit, the NAC follows the 3 stages. The 3 stages are the preparation and submission of the self-study report by the unit of assessment, the on-site visit of the P-team for validation of the self-study report and for recommending the assessment outcome of the NAC, the final decision of the executive committee by the NAC. The self-study report to be validated by the Ps is the backbone of the whole exercise. Manuals have been developed to suit different units of the higher education with detailed guidelines on the preparation of the self-study report and other aspects of assessment and accreditation. With this, I conclude. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for the session. Now we have a few questions from the participant side.
Yes.
First one, does any non-technical activities done can be treated as an extension activity in case of electronics or computer science departments?
Yes, extension activities, if it is student beneficial, if it is employability for the students or job oriented or value added course, you can have it. It must be more than 30 hours.
Okay, ma'am. If we are of technical department, can we introduce professional ethics course as a curriculum enrichment program? Does it work?
Pardon, once again, if it is an engineering course over there?
If we are of technical department, can we introduce professional ethics course as a curriculum enrichment program?
Yes, sure, you can. But see to it that in your POs it is included over there. Naturally, we'll be including the professional ethics will be there. And you can include that.
Okay, ma'am. Next one. What all things or activities comes under outreach activities?
Extension activities, all those things comes as extension activities, student enrichment, everything comes under it.
Next one. After submitting, if there are some modifications in SSR, can we resubmit it within 45 days?
Yes, sure.
What is KRC infrastructure?
That infrastructure in the NAC, it is clearly depicted the KRC infrastructure, whereon to which we pardon, sorry.
Okay, ma'am. Now we have come to the end of question answer session. I may like to.
Just a minute.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, sorry, please.
Okay, ma'am. So I may like to express sincere thanks to Dr. C. Deepa, Associate Professor, Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore, for giving an excellent coverage on NAC accreditation and preparation. We are really enlightened with your presence and appreciate the wealth of knowledge and insight you have shared today on the various aspects and criteria levels of accreditation. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now we come to the end of today's session. Attendance and feedback link of the session will be shared now. Once again, thank you all. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.